We begin tonight with several breaking news stories starting in Tempe. Sky 12 is over the area of University and Priest right now, where a large police investigation is underway. This is happening fairly close to ASU's Tempe campus. You can see a large area is blocked off as police continue their investigation. We've reached out to Tempe police for information on exactly what's happening, and we'll update you as soon as we learn more.
And now to Phoenix. Phoenix police are investigating a double shooting involving officers. Two suspects suffering from gunshot wounds were taken into custody near 61st and Northern Avenues, about 4 miles from where the shooting happened at 29th Avenue and Northern. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Caribe Divine.
And I'm Mark Curtis. Let's get you right to the scene for the latest details. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra is live from the scene. And Gabby, what are you hearing from police?
Well, Mark Caribe, a large police presence has shut down this West Phoenix neighborhood. The shooting reportedly happened just south of here. Take a look. You can see those flashing lights stretching down the street for several blocks. We just heard from a Phoenix police sergeant in the last hour, and he says officers were in the area around 5 o'clock conducting proactive policing when they attempted to stop two men in a white SUV. The driver initially pulled over, but as police were walking up to the car, the driver allegedly swerved toward one of the officers. Two officers then shot at the car, hitting both the driver and the passenger. The driver took off, leading police on a pursuit west of here. The chase ended near 59th Avenue and Northern Avenue when the suspect's car crashed near a cemetery. Sky 12 flew over the scene. Take a look at the damage. The driver of the car was detained right away. The passenger, though, ran off into the nearby neighborhood, and officers were able to set up a perimeter in the area and found him. Both were taken to the hospital and are expected to survive. Police tell us proactive policing is a regular practice, but couldn't say exactly what prompted officers to stop this car.
It's doing police work without a call for service. And it's something that a lot of officers specialize in. It's kind of just that element of recognizing potential criminal activity and going through the steps of conducting kind of that baseline investigation to see if any criminal activity is afoot, and then obviously taking enforcement at that point if that's something you do find during that on-view sort of policing.
And back out here live at the initial police scene, people living nearby tell us they see a lot of crime in this area, but something of this magnitude is rare. And police are expecting this portion of 29th Avenue to be closed through the morning hours. That way they can collect all of the evidence they need in this investigation. Live in Phoenix, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
All right, Gabby, thanks. This isn't the only police shooting over the last 24 hours. Tonight, a man is dead and a woman's in the hospital after an overnight situation that started in Phoenix and ended all the way in Gilbert, where the shots involving officers rang out. Phoenix police say they got a 911 call about a woman being forced into a car somewhere near 53rd Avenue and I-10. They tracked that car down in Gilbert near Higley and Williamsfield Roads. The suspect is dead after being shot by police. The woman who was in the car was also shot, but tonight it's unclear who shot her. Also developing right now, Phoenix police are searching a neighborhood for a shooting suspect. This is near I-17 and Dunlap. Police say the victim went to the hospital with a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. We're working to find out more about what led to the shooting.
Now to Peoria. A married couple is dead after a crash involving a pickup truck this morning. It happened at the intersection of 87th Avenue and Cactus Road. The couple has now been identified as 86-year-old Marjorie Cusrow and 90-year-old Dale Cusrow. The driver of the other car that was involved was taken to the hospital for minor injuries. We spoke to people who live in the area who say they see crashes often.
I heard a big loud crash and it sounded like metal scraping across the ground.
People blow through there all the time. They jump the light or they just go flying through, not paying attention because the light will turn very quickly on you.
Police say that the other driver is cooperating with investigators, adding that they are looking into whether speed or impairment played a role.
An Illinois woman was here in Phoenix to testify before the Arizona Senate in an effort to get her namesake bill passed in Arizona. It would create a sexual abuse and assault awareness and prevention program for students and teachers, but for 10 years, her proposal has been rejected.
12 News journalist Bianca Bono was there for today's hearing and has the story from the Capitol.
Erin's law has already been passed in 38 states, and Erin is here hoping Arizona is the 39th.
There's an estimated 42 million survivors of sexual abuse. I'm one of them.
Erin Marin sharing her story of survival with Arizona's Senate Education Committee.
From the ages of 6 to 8.5, my neighbor sexually abused and raped me.
Told by her abuser to keep it a secret, and she did for years. She doesn't want any child to endure that pain or carry that burden again.
I made it my mission, instead of staying angry with these men, to go do something positive with it.
So she created Erin's Law, which requires schools to teach personal body safety to students, skills to recognize boundary violations, and to report it to a trusted adult. After 16 years of work, it's been passed in 38 states. She hopes these lawmakers help Arizona become the next, sharing one example of her law's impact after it passed in New York.
9 boys came forward in that one elementary school saying they're being sexually abused after that first lesson. When I went to trial, 27 boys took the stand saying they were being sexually abused, some of them for years. Who was their abuser? The principal.
She's received pushback in the 10 years she's tried to get her law passed in Arizona. Some questioning if it's sex education. She says that's a common misconception.
We're teaching them, as I give examples, what is a safe touch, what's an unsafe touch, what's a safe secret, unsafe secret.
But the Arizona Education Association, the teachers union, vocalized its opposition to the bill during Wednesday's committee hearing, calling it an unfunded mandate, saying teachers have too much on their plates.
They're being asked to meet all the requirements for teaching on important topics like reading, math, and writing, while we continue to add many, many things.
The committee moved by Erin's story and will vote on whether to advance her bill next week. Erin leaving them with a strong message.
The only people that should be voting against this are the ones that want to protect perpetrators and allow them to keep doing this, or they're the ones abusing kids.
And as the committee votes on whether to advance this bill next week, Erin will be flying to Iowa, where she's working to pass her law there too. We're at the Capitol. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Bianca, thanks. All right, time to talk some weather with meteorologist Chris Dunn. Chris, I know you're tracking this winter storm. You have been for a couple of days now. We really need a good soaker. Is this going to turn into anything?
Define a good soaker. Yeah, that would be a lot of rain. I don't think this is going to deliver a lot of rain, but we will get rain in the valley. We will get snow in the mountains. The best chances on Friday. It's a fairly mild storm system. Weather impact alert is in effect for Friday because we haven't had much rain. Off and on rain and snow on Friday. Snow will be in the mountains above about 7,000 feet to start, and eventually the snow level dropping to about 5,500 to 6,000 feet. Slick roads for the mountains where it snows, and also in the valley when we do get some rain. Now, here are some of the preliminary numbers coming in from some of the computer forecast models. They don't look very big because they are not. Our high-res futurecast, 2 100ths. The GFS, the American model, 2 100ths. I show you these numbers because this is kind of lifting up the curtain and seeing behind the scenes of what we look at for the type of storm that we're looking at. So 1/10 of an inch of rain from the European model, and that's on the high end. For tomorrow, we're looking at a lot of clouds, not much rain just yet. Highs in the upper 60s. Again, Friday will be our rain day. I'll run it through with a high-resolution futurecast on the maps and show you what's beyond the weekend coming up a little bit later on.
All right, we'll see you for that, Chris. But in the meantime, now is a good time to download our streaming app. It's called 12 Plus, and that's where we'll be tracking the storm every step of the way. You can find 12 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV devices. Tonight, we're learning more about the pilot who died at Scottsdale Airport on Monday. The family of 78-year-old Joey Vitoski sharing photos of the man they described as a lifelong airman with an immense love for adventure. The Learjet plane that he was piloting on Monday afternoon veered off the runway at Scottsdale Airport after local officials say the plane's landing gear malfunctioned. The plane, owned by Motley Crue singer Vince Neil, had 3 other people on board, all who suffered injuries but survived the crash.
I have no doubt that he saved them. And I know people are saying, oh, well, you can't maneuver anything because the landing gear failed. But I know for a fact, without a doubt, that he saved their lives.
We could have had a much more serious situation there if both airplanes had ended up in a ball of fire out there.
Vitoski leaves behind 4 children and 5 grandchildren. Motley Crue said in a statement earlier this week that they are planning a way to support Vitoski's family during this challenging time.
If you live in Gilbert, expect to see a big increase in your monthly utility bill. Last night, we told you about the town approving a huge rate increase for wastewater, adding hundreds of dollars a year to the average bill. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly spoke with officials about why this is happening and if other cities are doing the same thing.
At a time where everything is getting more expensive, so is the water getting flushed down your toilet. The town of Gilbert just approved a nearly 100% rate increase for wastewater, adding nearly $30 to your bill. Right now, people living in Gilbert pay about $33 a month for wastewater. But starting in April, that will jump up to about $62 each month. That's an additional $350 a year.
Things are just getting out of hand.
John, a longtime Gilbert resident, is retired and lives on a fixed income. He's worried what this is going to do to him and others in the same situation.
I'm sure it's going to hurt, of course. So to pay for that, we're going to have to cut something else out.
A few people spoke out during the town council meeting Tuesday night, right before this was approved, all with the same concern.
Plain and simple, I can't afford this.
So where is all this money going? Assistant Public Works Director Paul Brown tells me the revenue is going directly toward operating and maintaining the town's sewer and reclaimed water system to keep it working.
As the pumps and pipes and plants that deliver these services age, they need to be repaired or replaced.
If this rate increase didn't happen, he says it could create serious problems for everyone.
We would just barely have enough funding to continue to operate the system on the day-to-day, not be able to make any emergency repairs, and certainly not be able to do any rehabilitation or replacement.
Now, this isn't the only rate increase Gilbert residents will see in April. Your water bill is also going up 25%. For example, this would turn your $60 water bill into $75.
I feel like I'm being taxed to death.
Again, Brown says it's to keep up with maintaining the water system.
Our response is not to kick the can down the road, but instead to keep investing in our utilities.
Neighboring cities are doing the same thing, but not nearly as much. Mesa just increased its wastewater and water bills by nearly 8% and 4%. Phoenix increased its bills by 7% and 13%. For Chandler, they plan on increasing bills next year. And Scottsdale also plans on having discussions on this matter at a meeting later this month. All to keep everything flowing smoothly. In Gilbert, Chase Golightly, 12 News.